Thanks for tuning in to LandscapeToday.net's weekly U.S. weather outlook. I'm meteorologist Don Day. These are the things that we're going to be watching for you over the coming week. Not as wet in California and the Pacific Northwest for the next 5 to 7 days, although I think it's temporary. It's going to be coming back, the wetness, later this month into April, but there is a bit of a break. Colder in many areas of the nation after a warmer start to March in many areas. March turning colder now, and this means some snow for the Northern Plains, Great Lakes, the Northeast, and some portions of the Rockies. For the very excessively wet areas of East Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, well, there is some rain in the forecast, but nothing like what you've experienced over the last week, where over 20 inches of rain in the lower Mississippi Valley did develop last week. Let's take a look at the current jet stream chart. We see that high pressure is building along the west coast. That's going to be responsible for some of the dryness here in California. This area here, not going to have too much going on here over the next few days, but colder weather is coming in. We're going to see significant snow up here, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Before the week's over, you're going to see some significant snow, portions of the Great Lakes as well. And as we fast forward into next week, this is the jet stream pattern that we'll be developing for next Tuesday. You can see that we have another trough entering the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast. So next week, precipitation does return to the West Coast and the Pacific Northwest, while we see some warmer weather here, although not necessarily drier weather. One area we're going to need to watch, and we'll talk about this with the precipitation map, is that there will be some areas of spring snow, or let's say March snow, as we get into portions of New England, portions of Maine, New England here. These areas have a chance for picking up some snow before this week is over, especially later this week and the weekend. Upper New York State, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts. Well, you could have some March snows. Looks like for most of the Metroplex here, it will probably be rain, but the northwest areas here could be susceptible to some snowfall with this system. Out west, does look like Colorado's Front Range, Denver, maybe Colorado Springs, looking at snow here at the end of the week. And the Rockies and portions of the Pacific Northwest Mountains will see some decent snows to help snowpacks, while the desert Southwest, Southern California area for the next 5 to 7 days we'll see a break in that weather. Thanks for tuning in to LandscapeToday.net. We'll see you next week. I'm meteorologist Don Day.